guys, welcome back to my channel. We're having a great day. In today's video I'm going to be filming my November 9th by Colleen Hoover book review. So first impressions of the book, I love it. Absolutely love it. One of my favourite books I've ever read, not going to lie. Out of 5 stars, I want to give it 5 just solely based on the fact of how happy it made me. I love getting to know both Fallon and Ben, who are your 2 main characters. It mainly focuses on Fallon, but I would also class Ben as a main character, to be honest. The 2 of them meet up every year on November 9th, and they're not allowed any contact with each other throughout the full year. They've just got to kind of have faith in each other that each other shows up on that date in the location they choose to share. This book was an escape. I did feel when I read the pages of this book, I was immediately in Fallon and Ben's world, and they were people that I knew, and this was the life that I was involved in, kind of thing. That's how I felt. It was really nice reading it. It was a good read. I would 100% recommend it to other fans of Colleen Hoover, and also if you're into romance books, then this is a perfect romance novel for you. It does cover a lot of serious topics as well, so please do your research before you read it, just in case it can trigger you at all. But back to the original comment, like, out of 5 stars, I did want to give it 5, but on a fair judgment, I'm going to give it 4 out of 5 stars, solely based on the fact that I felt the end was a bit rushed. And by that I mean, like, without spoiling it obviously, get to the end, we find out the truth and whatever happened. I just felt like it was kind of like, done, the end. That's how I felt the ending went, and that makes me sad because I feel like the ending could have, but then I don't want to say dragged out, because then, like, oh, who can be bothered with an ending that drags out? But I feel like it just could have went on a bit more. It was a bit short, but I can see why it was short and sweet, and it was nice, and the ending shocked me. I'm not going to lie, I didn't see it coming. However, you might read it and be like, oh, I know what's going to happen already, but I am blind to it all. Like, even when I watch films, I don't know who the killer is, and I don't know how they worked it out, and I know nothing. Like, I genuinely don't work it out. My mum works it out, I do not work it out. I wish I did, but it's quite fun telling myself to be surprised and stuff. Yeah, I like the cover of it. I know there's a few different covers. I do actually like this one. It says, "You'll never be able to find yourself if you're lost in someone else," and that is 100% so true. I'm going to read the back of it to you, but if you do want to pause it and read yourself, then feel free to do so now. So the back of it just says, "Beloved #1 New York Times best-selling author Colleen Hoover returns with an unforgettable love story between a writer and his unexpected muse. Fallon meets Ben, an aspiring novelist. The day of her scheduled cross-country move, their untimely attraction leads them to spend Fallon's last day in LA together, and her eventful life becomes the creative inspiration Ben has always sought for his novel. Over time, and amidst the various relationships and tribulations of their own separate lives, they continue to meet on the same date every year, until one day Fallon becomes unsure if Ben has been telling her the truth or fabricating a perfect reality for the sake of the ultimate plot twist. Can Ben's relationship with Fallon and simultaneously his novel be considered a love story if it ends in heartbreak?" Sorry, I didn't read that the best, but yeah, that pretty much, it does sum up the full book, obviously, because that is what a blurb is meant to do. But I'm trying to think of, like, it doesn't even remind me of any books that I've read before, many moons ago. It doesn't even sound like anything I've heard people talk about, and I sure as haven't seen it on anybody else's TBR or anything like that. I've only seen a couple of people on TikTok read it, and the ones I've seen, they did enjoy it, and I can see why they enjoyed it. Like I say, it's a feel-good novel. It does cover a lot of topics, like I have said, so I don't want to say the topics because I don't want to ruin the book, just in case it does ruin the book, and I'm really choosing my words carefully in how I word this. But I would read the book again, being solemnly honest. I would 100% read it again, but we have books to get through on the list, so I'm not going to rush into reading it again. But it was a perfect novel. I'm so happy I chose this as the first novel to read off my 2023 to be read list, and I'm absolutely gutted it's over. When I read this book, I did feel like I jumped into Fallon and Ben's world. I felt like I really got to know them. I got to not so much relate to them, but I also feel like we did get to know the characters really well, and well enough to see if I wanted them together, if what would happen and stuff like that. And yeah, there's so much I want to talk about, but obviously I'm keeping this review spoiler free. So this book really took me through the works. I loved it. My jaw dropped a good few times at it. There was one part of this book that really stood out to me, and it was on page 168, and I will read it to you. And it just says, "She's not the kind of girl you choose your battles for. She's the kind of girl you fight to the death for." And I loved it. Like, it fitted in when that happened in the book, and then that gets said, and it just fitted it so well, so perfectly. And I cannot, like, look at the smile on my face. I cannot describe the excitement and the love that I have for this book. And with that being said, that is everything I have to say about this book without ruining it for those who haven't read it. Like I say, I do 100% recommend it if you are a fan of Colleen Hoover, or if you're just looking for a good romance story, then this is 100% the book for you. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to smash the thumbs up button, comment down below if you've read the book or if you're going to read it. You can let me know what you rate it out of 5 stars as well. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, turn on the wee bell notifications so you don't miss any new videos that I upload, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!